thousands of students facing financial uncertainty. This as, of course, they face another year of delays from NSFAS that's supposed to secure their funding, and some of it has to do with private student accommodation. I'm now joined by Rudy Heineke from OUTA, just to tell us what exactly are your concerns relating to this, and how exactly do you feel should this be handled moving forward?
Thank you, Patricia. Yes, I think what we are seeing this year is what's unfolding is a repeat of last year and the year before, where students are very anxious, as you said, about will they get accommodation at the institutions where they study. We have seen a day or two ago the Private Students Housing Association bringing out a statement saying that NSFAS is owing their members about 44 million rand, and that they are not going to make their accommodation available for students until that bill is paid. And that is a serious concern. Before 2023, the accommodation was handled by the academic institutions themselves. And in that time, there were less problems because there's no middleman involved. The student is directly, at the university, communicating directly with the university authorities for accommodation. And they have got the systems in place to place these students in private accommodation that is accredited by the institution. And we feel that that NSFAS should go back to that specific model, so that there is no middleman. What is happening at this stage is that NSFAS appointed service providers who developed a portal where the accommodation provider must register its beds, then it gets accredited, and then the students will be able to look for accommodation on that portal. All of that, of course, with a hefty fee for the accommodation providers. But this portal and the management thereof is not functioning 100%. So there's delays in that, and that delays and uncertainties together with non-payment is a very serious situation, and that's why we call for the Minister to intervene and to make sure that the management of accommodation, private accommodation accredited by these institutions, be given back to the institutions to manage.
In your engagement perhaps with the various stakeholders, could you perhaps determine what are the challenges that makes this portal so difficult to navigate? We've heard complaints from the association. We've heard some students even talking about, some of the challenges that they are facing. But from your investigations or perhaps observations or from the talks that you may have had with different people, what are they saying? What are the challenges that makes it so difficult to navigate this particular portal?
If I may just take one step back, in December 2023, we released a investigation report where we have investigated the tenders that was awarded for the portal as well as for the accreditation agents. We found various irregularities that took place during the evaluation of the tenders. We compiled a report, we handed it over to the NSFAS board and former NSFAS board at the time. After the appointment of Mr. Freeman Omvalo as the administrator, we also engaged with him and handed him this report. And we requested NSFAS to have a serious look into the whole process. Just one example is that some of these accreditation agents that must go and inspect the properties to make sure that it complies with the minimum norms and standards of the department, they only registered their companies, after the advertisement came out for the tender. So they've got no experience, no competencies to do the job. And I think there's a lot of problems that occurred there, way before the whole system was introduced. Now, after the system was introduced, exactly as you said, the problems that for students as well as accommodation providers to log onto the system, to register the beds, to get the accreditation agents out at a very slow pace. They started to accredit accommodation, and I think there's last year, the last numbers that we saw, that there were still around 80,000 accredited beds needed in the industry that's not available. And this, together with the problems that we see now of non-payment, all contributes to the issues and the anxiety of students.